It was supposed to be just another ordinary Tuesday. Nothing special, nothing unusual, nothing worth remembering. I woke up late, rushed through breakfast and drove to work the same way I had every day for the last 6 years. Same traffic, same radio station, same elevator music echoing through the halls of the office. The kind of day that slips through your fingers without leaving a mark. But at 10:14 a.m. everything changed. I was sitting at my desk, half reading emails, half daydreaming about lunch when my phone buzzed. I didn't think much of it. Probably another spam message or delivery alert. But then I saw the notification. A message from my own number. At first I thought it was a glitch. Maybe my phone company testing something or one of those spoofing scams. But the moment I opened the message, every hair on my body stood up. It said, "Do not leave the building at lunchtime, no matter what happens." There was no greeting, no explanation. Just that message. Sent at 10:13 a.m., received at 10:14 a.m. I stared at the screen for a long moment, waiting for the second message, the punchline, the "just kidding." But none came. Instead, my phone vibrated again, only this time I received a call. From my number. I felt something cold slide down my spine. It rang once, twice, 3 times, and then stopped. I didn't answer. I couldn't. My fingers were trembling. Who would spoof my number, and for what? But the strangest thing, and the thing I couldn't ignore, was not the message itself. It was the tone. Something about it felt familiar. Not just the number, but the style. The way I would write a warning if I needed to tell myself something urgently. The short sentences, the lack of punctuation, the tone that sounded like I had typed it in a panic. I tried to shake it off, but a thought crawled into my mind and refused to leave. What if this message really was from me? Absurd, impossible. Yet I couldn't let it go. The day continued like nothing had happened, except I couldn't focus on anything. Every small noise made me flinch. Every time someone coughed or walked behind me, I half expected something terrible to happen. By 12 now, I was sweating. By 12:10, my heart was racing. And at exactly 12:30, my usual lunchtime, I grabbed my phone and stood up from my desk. And then I remembered the message. Do not leave the building at lunchtime. I froze completely. A cold pressure wrapped around my chest. I sat down again. A few seconds later, something happened outside the window. Something I still don't fully understand. From the 7th floor, I had a clear view of the intersection below. At exactly 12:32 p.m., an SUV ran a red light and collided with a delivery truck. The crash was violent. Glass everywhere, smoke rising, people screaming. My stomach dropped. That was the exact route I took every single day to pick up lunch. If I'd left at my usual time, if I had crossed that street, if that message hadn't stopped me, I might have been in the middle of that crash. My hands trembled so hard I almost dropped the phone. The message wasn't random. It wasn't meaningless. Whoever sent it, whoever I sent it, saved my life. And that's when the second message arrived. Good, you listened. Don't ignore the next one. That was the moment I realized something terrifying. This wasn't over. It was only the beginning. I didn't know what to do with the second message. I read it again and again. Good, you listened. Don't ignore the next one. My hands were sweaty, my throat dry. Everything inside me screamed that something was wrong, deeply, dangerously wrong. Yet I couldn't stop staring at the screen. I tried calling my own number back, but as soon as I tapped call, the screen flickered. Static, digital noise, like something was interfering. And then the call simply failed. A normal glitch would have shown a message like call ended or call failed. But mine didn't. The screen just froze, then dimmed, then lit up again like nothing had happened. I felt this cold, invisible weight on my chest, almost like someone was watching me through the phone. I locked the screen and shoved the device into my pocket. For the rest of the afternoon, every second felt heavy. My heartbeat was too loud. My breath was too fast. My thoughts were running, looping, circling the same point. Someone, or something, was trying to control my actions. But why me? At 3:17 p.m., I got the third message. My stomach twisted even before I opened it. Part of me wanted to run away, but another part, stronger, more terrified, needed to know what it said. The message was longer this time. At 3:33, the fire alarm will go off. Do not evacuate. Hide in the storage room on floor 6. You'll understand soon. I blinked. Once, Twice. This had to be some kind of sick prank. I looked around the office. Everyone was working as usual. No one seemed scared. No one was messing with their phones. Nobody even looked in my direction. I checked the time. 3:19 p.m. My fingers trembled. Every logical part of me said, "This is stupid, ignore it. Go on with your day." But the part of me that had seen the accident at lunchtime, the part that knew the message had been right before, couldn't breathe. I checked the message again. The specific time, the instruction to hide, the confidence behind it. Something inside me whispered, "Listen, don't question." At 3:29, my heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. At 3:32, sweat dripped down my back. At 3:33 exactly, the fire alarm exploded through the entire building. Screaming siren, flashing lights. Everyone jumped up from their desks. Everyone except me. My hands shook violently. I typed, "Who are you?" No response. I typed again. "Why are you doing this?" Silence. The alarm continued blaring. My co-workers rushed to the stairwell, pushing past one another. I stood frozen in the middle of it all, and then my phone vibrated once. A short message. "Run!" My legs moved before my brain did. I sprinted to the stairwell, but instead of going down with everyone else, I took the stairs up, toward the 6th floor. Everything felt unreal, like I was watching myself from outside my body. When I reached the corridor of floor 6, something felt wrong. It was empty, silent. No flashing alarms here, no sign of evacuation. It was like the alarm never existed on that floor. My phone buzzed again. Storage room, end of the hall. I walked slowly, every step echoing unnaturally loud. My breath came in short gasps. I reached the storage room, an old wooden door with a flickering light bulb above it. My hand hesitated on the handle. Then my phone lit up again. One final message. "Do not make a sound." I slipped inside and closed the door behind me. The room was dark, thick with dust. I crouched behind a metal shelf, trying not to shake. And then I heard footsteps in the corridor. Slow, heavy, too heavy to be human. They stopped right in front of the storage room. I covered my mouth, holding my breath until my lungs ached. The handle turned, almost silently. The door opened a crack. I saw something through that gap. Something that made my heart stop. A silhouette, human-shaped, but wrong. Too tall, too straight, no natural movement. It stood there perfectly still, as if listening, as if smelling, as if looking for me. The silence stretched. 1 second, 5, 10. Then it slowly, painfully slowly withdrew. Its steps grew distant, then disappeared. I felt adrenaline crash into my body like a wave. I didn't move for several minutes. When I finally dared to breathe, my phone buzzed again. I didn't even want to look, but I forced myself. "You're safe for now, go home, and don't trust anyone who looks like me." I almost dropped the phone. Anyone who looks like me? What the hell did that mean? I pressed my back against the cold wall of the storage room, feeling the weight of invisible eyes still lingering. And that was the moment I realized. This wasn't someone playing games. This wasn't a hacker. This wasn't a prank. Something was happening. Something impossible. Something coming for me. And the only one who seemed to know anything about it was me. When I arrived home that evening, the world felt different. Quieter. Darker. Like something was waiting for me in the shadows. I locked every door, closed every window, turned on every light, but I still couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. My phone vibrated again. I almost didn't want to look. "Do not ignore this. Check the front door camera." My heart slammed against my ribs. I opened the security app and tapped the live feed. The screen loaded, flickered, then showed the front porch, and I stopped breathing, because standing just outside my door was me. Same face, same clothes I had worn earlier, same expression, except his eyes were wrong, too still, too empty, too focused, like he wasn't looking at the camera, but through it. I choked on my own breath. My phone buzzed in my trembling hand again. "That's not me, it's not human. Don't let it inside." My knees almost gave out. I stared at the figure on the camera, frozen, unable to process what I was seeing. It reached out, slowly, touching the door with the tips of its fingers. Not knocking, not scratching, just placing its hand there, as if feeling the barrier between us. I whispered, "What the hell are you?" And then a new message appeared. "It can hear you if you speak. Stay silent." My blood turned to ice. The figure on the camera tilted its head, sharply, unnaturally, exactly as I read the words. It had heard. It stepped closer. My breath got stuck in my throat. My phone vibrated again. "You need to get to the basement now." I didn't question it. I moved. I slipped down the stairs as quietly as possible, into the cold concrete basement that always smelled faintly of dust and paint. The air was thick. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost dropped the phone. As soon as I reached the bottom step, another message appeared. "Good. You're where I was when I sent these messages." I froze. When I sent these messages? What was that supposed to mean? Another message arrived. "I'm you, but I'm not from this timeline." My heart stopped for a second. The basement suddenly felt too small. More messages fast, like someone panicking. "Something is replacing people." It almost replaced me. "It's trying to replace you now. Listen carefully, the thing outside isn't human." I sank to the floor, shaking uncontrollably. Then another message. "I escaped before it took me, but I lost everything. I'm trying to keep you from repeating my fate." The figure outside knocked. Once. Slow. Deliberate. I stared at the ceiling, listening. More messages. "Don't go upstairs. It won't break the doors. It needs you to open it. It imitates, it learns, it becomes." Then something that made my skin crawl. "Once it becomes you, you disappear." Suddenly the knocking stopped. Dead silence. I held my breath for several seconds until the doorknob upstairs turned. Not aggressively, not violently. Quietly, patiently. Like the thing knew I was down here. Like it was waiting. My phone buzzed again. "You only have one chance. Go to the fuse box. Cut power to the whole house." I ran to the fuse box, grabbed the switch and pulled it down with all my strength. The house went dark. Pitch black. Silence. Then a scream from upstairs. Not human. Not animal. Something between metal and agony. It echoed through the walls, shaking the basement floor. I covered my ears and pressed myself into the corner. Then another message lit up my phone. "Despite the house having no power." Good. That weakens it. Now stay there. Don't move until I send the final message. The phone dimmed. The scream faded. I sat in the darkness, trembling uncontrollably. Minutes passed. Maybe hours. I couldn't tell anymore. I waited for the final message. When it finally came, my blood ran cold. My phone lit up softly, like a breath in the darkness. The final message. "Do not trust the version of me that arrives tomorrow." My chest tightened. Tomorrow? Before I could process it, another message appeared. "I survived because I ran, but I made a mistake." I swallowed hard. I thought I escaped it, but I didn't. It followed me across timelines. Then, it learned to mimic me perfectly. My hands were sweating so much the phone almost slipped from my grip. The next message came slower. Waited. "If it reaches your timeline fully, there will be 2 of you." A pause. Then, "One of you won't survive." My vision blurred for a second. My breathing turned shallow. Another message. "Tomorrow, someone who looks exactly like you will knock on your door. He will smile the way you do. He will speak the way you do. He will know things only you know. Do not open it." My stomach twisted violently. The final message arrived, and I knew instantly that this one changed everything. "If he gets inside, it won't be him leaving the house, it'll be you." The phone went dark. The house stayed silent. I sat in the darkness of the basement for what felt like forever, waiting for the sound of footsteps above. And then, at exactly midnight, a soft knock. 3 taps, slow, rhythmic, familiar, then a voice. "It's me, open the door." My blood froze, because the voice sounded exactly like mine. And I knew this wasn't the end of the story. It was only the beginning.